But yeah, we can absolutely talk about the match that's coming up here soon between Wormhole Society, who will be in red, and the Culture, who will be in blue. Let's send it over to the commentators and actually just have everyone chat about it until the match begins.
Well, it does look like Wormhole Society are bringing back the AT11 meta with dual Dominics, Claymore, Shield, Ishtar, Vigilant, Jackdaw, and Daredevil. So they're bringing Shield Dominic, which is could be interesting to see. I'm not gonna lie. While the culture have brought Armageddon and Eros, Navy Harbin, two Navy Harbingers, two Oracles, two Hyenas, Hound, and a Daredevil. So a more masteries.
Yeah, it looks like the culture have a Kingslayer style setup, a setup that's just designed to kill the Logi, just like FCON brought. Their take on it is these oracles which do a lot of DPS, uh, and with the hyenas there to target paint and web the Logi down. You then have the Navy Harbingers. On top of that, you also have the Armageddon as well, which is going to be muting the Logi, and it's not going to be able to move away from the Armageddon because of the hyena web. So their setup, it seems, is just designed to kill the Logi. And Wormhole Society have a weird setup, in my opinion. They chose to only bring 8 pilots. They have double Dominic's Ishtar, which I presume are most likely going to be using sentries of some kind. But then they have a Vigilant and a Daredevil, which go in, which is kind of weird. Like, I think they would be better served by a Hugin or a Hyena instead, and also bringing 8 pilots when they could probably get more efficiency by maybe breaking that Vigilant down into another Daredevil and then get another Jackdaw in or other ships. So yeah, I think the culture definitely have the strongest setup here.
Yeah, I
I'm just,
definitely think that. Sorry,
I was just gonna
it
say,
does
I'm
look like.
just sorry.
Well, it does look the Armageddon is full new fit as well. By the way, that's all I just wanted to say.
Woo, that'll be pretty spicy in the news. I actually really like the culture's bands here, taking out the battleship cores that are really powerful, the Vindicator and the Rattlesnake. What do you guys think about the rest of the bands, especially for Wormhole Society?
Mercurial ban is a bit weird. It looks like they just played a game where they just decided, let's just ban all the pirate battleships.
I mean, pirate battleships we know are super strong, and they're getting a balance pass pretty soon. But there's no there's no like cost balance pass over here on Thunderdome. These matches are being played on Thunderdome, guys, for the feeders. Very low bar to entry to get into the Alliance tournament here. You put up 2,500 plex. If you lose, you get your plex back, and if you win, you get to go into the Alliance tournament for the low price of what amounts to like 5 old plex or 2,500 new plex. It's pretty crazy though. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to go through the feeder rounds. It seems really hectic, and anything can happen. You could come up with 2 Vindicators and just get face melted, as we saw earlier in the day, or you can just get double bellicosed and knocked out into the next into like the the lower bracket where you have to fight for your life.
The
So
brilliant thing. Sorry, go on, Alex.
I was gonna say, what do you guys think about like the feed around format? Is that something that you would like to go into? We see a lot of like pretty well-known teams here in the feed rounds.
Personally, I would
no,
not.
it's
No,
brutal.
yeah. But I think it's good for lowering the barrier to entry. It allows a lot of the newer teams who may not have as much investment, not only in skill points in ISK, but as well as time. So it lets them, I guess, kind of practice when they want, show up when they want, and then if they make it, they make it. If they don't, then they don't really lose anything. They don't lose tranquility ships. They don't lose, they get their plex price, or they get their plex back. So I think it's super helpful to help all these new teams kind of see if they ever want to do tournament play, as well as it lets like more experienced teams kind of get that extra practice, that extra theory crafting, seeing how the meta develops, etc.
And the funnest thing about the, at least in my opinion, the funnest thing about the feeder rounds is all the crazy setups that you will see. You'll definitely see some shield dominixes. You'll definitely see some all-in Vindicator teams. You'll definitely see some, Barguest Tinker teams. I mean, there's some of the crazy setups that come out of the feeder rounds, or at least the early rounds of Alliance Tournament, are just the greatest thing to talk about. I mean, and the thing is as well, they're also wildcards as well. So this one team that you may have never heard of can bring out some crazy wacky setup, which will totally like destroy your like quote, like your standard TFI core, the double battleship core, and you think, oh wow, we just got like fully zonked because this setup, because these guys brought up this crazy like all-in setup which is designed to kill these dual battleship setups. So the funniest thing is you just see these crazy wacky setups which are just super fun to commentate, really.
Yeah, I personally love these clowny matches, and I think Shield Dominances could work. I think, was it Alliance Tournament 12? We saw Pandemic Legion using Shield Sins and Shield Dummies in sort of like a Tinker format. So I mean, this could work. They're generally really good with sentry drones and not heavy drones that have to move around, but anything's possible if you just believe in yourself. I'm done making predictions because I have very clearly no idea what's going on. I make a prediction and the exact opposite happens. So, this is just bizarre world over here, and I absolutely love it. Our match is scheduled to start in actually just 4 minutes. So while I suck at making predictions because I have no idea what's going on, you guys, you want to go on the record with an actual prediction for this match? Again, the Wormhole Society is in red and the Culture are in blue.
I think the Culture are going to take it. They have way more experience. I really like their team comp. I don't like Wormhole Society's comp at all, so I'm going to go with the Culture. I don't want to wear a pink hat.
Yeah, I definitely think the Culture just have they have a more well-rounded setup, more well-rounded setup, and obviously they've put some thought into the Hyenas. Really good for their that webbing support, slow things down. To have a target painter bonus as well, and they also have an Aneras, 2 Navy homes. It's a very well-rounded setup, and it'll work. It synergizes really well. So I'll go with the Culture on this one.
I'll
Alright,
have to
it
go with
seems
the
like
Culture as well.
It seems like Twitch chat is also following you guys, so I'm glad you guys are the experts laying down what's exactly going to happen. Twitch chat's just following along.
I'm gonna go against the Kev here. I'm gonna want drones to win, just because I find the fact that we've got T2 drones in this match hilarious. So come on, Wormhole Society, kick some ass with lots of drones.
Haven't you heard of the Shield Kitey Dami tactic? It's like the best tactic.
It's overpowered, guys.
It's OP AF. You guys are gonna see some next level tactics right here.
Well, I mean,
Well,
you only get Tech 1 sentries, you don't get Tech 2, it's only Tech 2 mobile drones, and there isn't really much reason to bring a Dominix over an Ishtar if you're using heavy drones, so I think they're going to be using Tech 1 sentries. Their damage is really low. They also have 1 point. They could have bought an Ibis.
You don't question crazy. You just appreciate craziness and hope it works.
They brought the Daredevil and the Vindicator in, or Vigilant in really, really close.
I think they're going to probably not be long for this world if the Culture goes to them instead of their Logi. Shield and Shield, Vigilance, and Daredevil's not known for tanking much at all.
Yeah, I can honestly appreciate the Oracles with the Hyena combo, because those Oracles are gonna put out some damage. Minimum, I'm feeling like 800 DPS, easy 1,000 if they want it. From each Oracle. This is gonna be insane to watch.
And this is also it's a double bad thing as well for the Wormhole Society because most, or in fact all of the damage from the Culture are EM and Thermal, and going against T1 Shield versus EM and Thermal is probably not the best, especially for Wormhole Society. Shield Dominixes, Shield Vigilance, and Ishtars, not the greatest, against EM and Thermal. I don't know. Some wacky thing could happen. Maybe these Dominixes are going to have MJDs, going to MJD on the Neros and just kill the Nero straight away. And somehow the Culture or just, their Culture team will just clearly get destroyed. And we'll find out. We'll soon find out. But 15 seconds till the match. So we'll see what will
Take it
finally
away,
happen.
boys. Suetonian Reload. Just go for it.
All right.
Okay.
Well, it looks like Wormhole decided to bring the dual Dominics, and the match is now away. And I'm going to see what will actually happen. I want to see what the culture are going to try and shoot first. That Daredevil, though, he looks like he is just going in as fast as possible. That Vigilant is going to go
Vigilant's already
down.
in armor.
Vigilant's already in armor in a shield tank. That's not very good in that situation. Looks like I was going to say he was tanking, but he wasn't, so he's going to die. Looks like the Daredevil is next. He's grappled, target painted, and deleted at this point. Claymore getting reps for some reason, but it doesn't look like he's taking any damage. Jack, though, looks like to be the primary for the culture. It looks like this is going to be quite a clean sweep, unfortunately.
Okay, so the Dominics haven't even put their drones on the culture yet. They just put out some Berserker 2s now. So yeah, it looks like the tackle just charged in, just died, as the Dominics only don't seem to have sentries. They just have mobile drones, and they didn't even put them on the culture until after everything died.
And it does look like they are going for the support for the culture side. No damage whatsoever at this very moment in time, and it does look like the Scimitar is taking damage. He seems to be actually kiting away, so it does look like he's tanking for now. He'll probably be boosting soon, so it looks like, he's tanking. He's burning away as fast as possible. They are going for the Skimmy right now, but ironically, T2 against EM Thermal is actually kind of good in this situation for the Scimitar right now, so he seems to be tanking just fine, and it does look like Wormhole decides they're going for a Hound, but he seems to be tanking just fine.
Yeah, it looks like the Hound is being kept up by the nearest. It does look like Wormhole Society are coming in closer. Maybe they're hoping they can finish off that Hound. Claymore seems to be the primary target for the culture right now. He is grappled, he's webbed, he's neutered, he's target painted. Unlike the Scimitar, the Claymore is really big, so he's going to take all of that damage from the Oracles and Navy Harbingers.
Yeah, and it seems like Claymore, he's in 50% shield, so, he should be boosting soon now. He is getting reps from the Skimmy. I say that, he's actually melting now. But it does look like these Dominics have no prop. They are just chilling at 136 MS, following each other just fine. Yeah, they're just chilling, really. They're just approaching their Claymore. The Claymore is actually hero tanking at this very point in time, but the Scimitar is now tackled. That Scimitar is actually held by Daredevil, which is very dire at this point. That Scimitar needed that Sig tank to kill those Harbinger Navy, to tank those Harbinger Navy issues and Oracles, but that doesn't look like it's happening anymore. And the Claymore has stabilized a little bit, but that's because they're switching onto the Scimitar, which is definitely 90% webbed.
Yeah, the Armageddon has been neuting the Scimitar for a while now too, so his reps are probably not going to be as effective. It looks like they're going to swap to the Scimitar though, taking a lot of damage now with that Daredevil web, which just broke for some reason. I think one of the Daredevils got jammed by EC set. There's an EC set around there. Oh, never mind, he's webbed again. Looks like the Scimitar's just going to melt here, and then they'll probably just finish off this Claymore and take the match. I don't think there's anything that Wormhole Society can do now.
Yeah, I definitely think that Wormhole Society were trying to maybe get some really, really fast heavy drone setup where you can get back in AT11 where you could have VNIs that had 10 km/s warriors and 3k a second berserkers, crazy stuff like that. But unfortunately, it didn't work for them. Ishtar going down now for Wormhole Society. It does look like this probably it's Claymore at this point now. 2 Dominics is in the Claymore versus their culture team.
Yeah,
I think
I'm not sure why they
Claymore.
bought Dominic's is if they're going to use mobile drones. Like Vex and Navy issues do the same damage as Dominic's, and they're faster and they track better, and they could have had more. They could have had double Ishtar, double VNI, and then just double healer plus that support.
Yeah, I definitely think could have done a mobile drone all in, which is forget the skimming side, just bring double Ishtar, double VNI, double healer, and just bring mass mobile drone spam setup and just headshot the Ineros and then just on. But unfortunately, they didn't do that. They went for Dominic's instead. But it'll be interesting to see what those next fittings are because they didn't move much. I have a niggling feeling that these guys don't have a propulsion mod, and it looks like these 2 Dominics and Claymore are just sitting 0 on each other. Claymore down now, and this Armageddon is just sitting, muting these Dominics, which is not very good if you're in a shield Dominics.
Oh, those Dominic's did MWD in, so they do have prop mods.
Oh, okay. But looks like the Dominic's now of Gnome Puncher is he's going down slowly but surely. He probably maybe has an XLASB or something, or he could be like dual tanked or something. Oh, well, maybe not, but he seems to be melting now. It's just going to be the one Dominic. The culture cleaning up 100 to 1. No problem whatsoever. Bringing the Armageddon, dual Navy Homogen, dual Oracle, dual Hyena. Kind of a strong setup actually. It's I'm kind of favoring the setup. It's got, a lot of range damage. I mean, it is a bit, damage lock with the EM and thermal, but so you might struggle against, armor tanks, but it's a solid setup. It has a lot of range. It has quite a lot of tank, and Armageddon is really nice for that troll setup. I mean, maybe they wanted to bring a Balgun, but it got banned out, so they brought the Armageddon instead. But I mean, the Armageddon worked just fine, and the culture win 100 to 1. Send it back to the studio.
All right, guys. Thanks for that.